was a very famous influencer. When I announced that I was pregnant, I knew that my fame would rise and I would get attention.
Congratulations, you have a healthy baby girl.
My baby looked nothing like me, and even worse, she was overweight already. Are you sure that's my baby?
I'm sure. She's about 7 pounds overweight, but that's all.
As soon as the doctor left, I knew I had to get rid of my child. Nobody online could know that such a hippo could possibly be mine. A few days later, I took her to the beach. As I struggled to hold her heavy body, I walked down the pier and dropped her into the water. As I walked back, I felt no guilt whatsoever. A few years later, I decided to try again for a baby.
Congratulations.
This time, my baby was stunning. She looked identical to me. Me and my daughter had a very special bond. Everyone on my socials agreed. I decided to take her to my favorite place, the beach. As soon as we arrived, she started crying. "It's okay, sweetie. Look how pretty the sunset is." I walked down the pier so she could get a better view, but she started crying even more.
Please don't throw me off this time. I'm pretty now.
Emma Cameron was a famous influencer. She filmed and vlogged on TikTok. She posted get ready with me's and routines on her YouTube channel. Everyone adored and loved her. She was so sweet and kind. Emma loved to party. She partied every weekend. She would party alone and with her friends. Emma was also very popular in school. She had many boys after her, and a lot of girls wanted to be her. She was living a fantastic life. She had family, friends, money, and fame. One day, when Emma was in class talking with her friends, the teacher came in. He announced to the fellow class that there will be a new girl joining the school. Everyone was so excited, and so was Emma. She wasn't worried at all that the new student might take her place. Emma was always gonna be the star. But when the girl entered the classroom, everyone gasped and was so mesmerized by the new girl. Her beauty, her confidence, and her grades were better than Emma's. The new girl, Victoria, was head of the class and became loved very fast. She also started a TikTok account and a YouTube channel. Her accounts blew up overnight. She gained millions and millions of followers, more followers than Emma. She became so popular and known. Emma's friends started to become distant with Emma since she was no longer the queen. Victoria was. All the boys that were after Emma was now after Victoria. Every boy wanted to date her, and all the girls wanted to be her friend. This made Emma so mad and jealous. How dared Victoria take away Emma's spotlight? Later that day, Emma came up with a plan. 2 days later, Emma asked Victoria if she could have a word with her. Victoria happily agreed to talk to her. She pulled Victoria aside and told her, "I'm gonna be the last thing you will ever see."
I'm gonna be the last thing you will ever see.
Victoria was confused and asked her what she was talking about. Emma grabbed out a sharp knife and stabbed Victoria while covering her mouth so no one would hear her screams. She let out an evil laughter. Blood was quickly covering Victoria's uniform as she was dying a painful death. Victoria's body dropped to the floor. 2 days later, Victoria was reported missing. Everyone was so worried, while Emma was so satisfied, knowing that everything she had before Victoria took it away would come back. Remember this girl? This is Emma Cameron, the girl who murdered Victoria. And a year after the incident, Emma became popular again. She started posting on TikTok and YouTube again. She got her fame back, just like she wanted. All the boys wanted her again, and all the girls either wanted to be her or be her friend. Even her old friends wanted to hang out with her again. She was happy. One day, she was walking home from school when she suddenly felt uneasy. She felt as if someone was following her. She got a bit weirded out by the feeling and the thought. But the second she got home, she didn't think much of it and brushed it off. She was tired, so she decided not to eat dinner and go straight to bed to take a nap. But when she was walking into her bedroom, she noticed that her window was open. She was sure that she had closed it before she went to school. Emma decided not to overthink it. She probably just was clumsy and forgot to close it before she headed out. She closes the window and gets a shiver. The wind was blowing in fast. It was cold.
Damn, that was cold.
But then, when Emma turned around, she saw someone. There Victoria was, standing with a bloody axe. The blood was so fresh that it was dripping down onto the floor, as if she had already used the axe.
I thought I killed you!
Oh, Emma, you did. You brutally murdered me. It hurt, but one thing that you didn't know was that I'm not a human.
Emma gets so terrified, she screams. The next day, Emma and her two friends were found dead. The police has no sign of any person that could have killed them, and no one will know that it was Victoria. Right? It was a Thursday evening when my parents told me that they are going out for dinner. I was not bothered about it, since they always went out for dinners. But this particular night, everything turned so strange. My parents seemed to forget details about me. I did not think about it too much and went to change into my pajamas. I switched the TV on and switched the channel to the news channel. This is when I realized my parents were in a fatal car crash that night. Who are the people in my house? Once upon a time, there was two girls that lived with each other. They were best friends. They grew up together and have always been by each other's side. They never fought. But then one day, everything changed. Luna started acting different. She started coming home super late at night. When Leah asked her why she came home so late, Luna just dodged the question and told her that she was just checking the alarm system. They don't have one. A few days later, when it came to the time when Luna usually goes out, Leah followed. They walked for a while, distant from each other, Leah hoping that Luna wouldn't catch her. All of a sudden, Luna stopped, looking around and then grabbing something from the bushes. Leah started to get creepy vibes. It was cold and the wind was blowing. What Luna then grabbed from out of the bushes shocked Leah to the core. It was a dead body. Luna started sucking the blood out of it by the neck. Like a vampire, nothing could have prepared Leah for this. Leah was absolutely terrified and could not think properly. She started running. She ran and she ran and she ran. Finally, she was home. She was about to take her first steps on the porch, but something was covering the door. Or should I say someone?
Leah was a famous influencer. People enjoyed watching her content, but ever since she became famous, she heard cameras flashing from her window. She chose to ignore it,
which was a big mistake.
One day she was out with her friends. They got stopped by two boys.
Hey, aren't you that Leah girl? We love your channel.
Yeah, especially your secret channel.
What secret channel? Whatever.
She searched up her name and found. She found an account that posted everything she did in private. From stretching to texting her friends, even to her sleeping. She told her parents immediately.
Mom, Dad, I'm so scared. I don't want to live here anymore.
So they packed everything up and moved out. But while she was unpacking at their new house, she heard something.
You told me to buy a pony, but all I wanted was you.
I have always had perfect skin, while my best friend had horrible acne and a long line of skincare. I only ever needed to use water and a ghoul shaw. My mother had called me, so I left the room. Little had I known that when I left, my best friend sprayed bleach on my ghoul shaw. When I returned, I used my ghoul shaw. I didn't know why my best friend was smiling until my face started burning painfully. My best friend stood there and laughed while I cried. When the paramedics arrived, I noticed her still laughing while the paramedics wrapped bandages around my perfect skin.
Piper and Julie were best friends. They met in high school and have been inseparable ever since. Piper and Julie were neighbors. They had the windows in their rooms facing each other's. But every night, Piper would see a figure standing in Julie's room. And every time she sees this figure, she gets freaked out because every night the figure gets scarier and scarier. Piper every morning tells Julie about it. But Julie tells her that she doesn't see anything and that she's just paranoid, and it's probably just her clothing on her door that makes it look like a figure. Piper even has told Julie's parents, the Evans. Mrs. and Mr. Evan are both super rich business people that are very popular in their town. They have a lot of money, but every time Piper tells them about the figure, they just scold her and tell her that they are sure it's nothing. They deny it. One day at school, Julie told Piper that her family will go on a trip to Brazil to visit her grandparents. Piper finally had the chance to investigate whatever that figure is and who it is. At the exact same time as usual, she wakes up and looks at Julie's bedroom window and sees the figure. This time, it's more scarier than ever. But that doesn't stop Piper at all. She gets the courage and grabs a flashlight and puts on a jacket and shoes. She walks outside quietly so she doesn't wake up her family. When she takes her first steps on the porch, she grabs the spare key from under the rug and enters the house. It's cold and dark. She turns on her flashlight and walks around. She walks up to Julie's room. The door was open. There was blood on the floor. And Julie's diary was on the floor. It said that there was a creature every night that visits her. Every night, it possesses her. And there are photos and drawings. At this point, Piper is so disturbed that she wants to cry. But at the end of the page, it says to never ever open the basement door, and especially not at 3 a.m. The clock was 3 a.m. Piper needs to know what's in the basement. She walks downstairs to the basement door. On the floor next to the door, there is blood. Piper then opens the door and sees Julie and her parents.
Watch out!
Julie screams. Piper turns around and sees the figure with a gun.